dead, per se. Um, he
Wait,
was
so what?
seemed to be doing well.
What's the current state of Lazarus?
I mean, he seems to be talking to the other gentleman in front of him.
All right, so I will walk up to Lazarus.
That was always an option.
Long time no see, Dumbo. And by long time, I mean a couple hours, maybe.
Exactly. So you can speak Sylvan, right?
Yes, I can.
Good. Tell this dog,
Arf, arf.
Karis's
Arf, arf.
dog. Tell Karis's dog to
Whoa.
track down Galphus.
I'm not sure he'll take a command from me. However, I could tell Karis how to say it.
That would work.
Sure, do that.
I'll try to mimic it.
Yeah, I didn't tell Karis how to pronounce.
And I'll do my best to copy. I don't know if you want me to roll for that or not.
Performance, I guess.
Okay, I'll try that.
And then if you get low, try something.
No thing for a bard. Good job.
So I'll just like intone what I hear, the musical kind of sounds that are the Sylvan language to Puppy, and to say follow the scent of the shifty one.
Okay.
And to see kind of where he goes if he obeys me.
Yeah. We'll go look for him.
He's your dog. I hope he obeys you.
Or he blinks out and goes searching.
And he also has advantage on hearing or smell. So
No.
Well, he'll come back when he finds him. So
Yeah,
I think
I'll
we'll
take
be
him.
okay for now.
He's not. He's just kind of taking in everything. He's not really in. Doesn't seem to be in a hurry, so it's gonna take a couple of minutes to come back. All right.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I'll turn to the guy who Lazarus was sparring with. I'll just say, apologies for interrupting. We'll be gone soon.
I believe that we have concluded our business as we need it for now, he says. But you, he says, looking at Karis, he speaks to you in Infernal and asks you, from where do you hail?
Sorry, is this, what does he look like again? If you can refresh me. Sorry, what race is he?
He is a tiefling. Well, he's
Okay.
he's a Multhian.
So I'll kind of step out and kind of give him a nod. Say, well, hail, fellow traveler. Did not see many of our kind around, but I'm from Canondag originally.
You know, I am from not Canondag, from Multhian, but well met.
Well, consider yourself lucky.
I don't think we escaped so much as you believe, he says.
That I can believe.
This is interesting, he says. I do not know why the mistress speaks us so, he muses to himself in a half smile. But this is interesting. So, tell me, Lazarus, you look like you are a Lyrian, but you are not so tall or so slim of build. You're not yet human either. What matter of creature are you?
That's a good question. I used to be a fairy, but I think I kind of lost that gift, and I don't know. I've felt something different in my bones ever since, but...
Ah, he says. You do have the spark of divinity about you, but it is not so great, he says. I see why the mistress, maybe she chooses you to be a creature of her molding, he says.
I'm pretty much a big lump of clay right now, so that would make sense.
Indeed, he says. This humility of yours will serve you only so far. You must, if you are to be successful in what you are needed to do, to discard such things and take on a more assertive disposition.
I definitely think that.
Good. Humility in the wrong situation shames our mistress, and she will not abide it. You would do well to remember this. Yes?
I'll nod.
Good. Well, I have things I must tend to, but I will not be far. I will leave you to do as you need with your friends for now. I will be able to find you.
Until then.
He nods and walks off.
Yeah, good riddance, you loony.
You call out to the air as if she shifted out of the corner of your eye. Who vanishes? Did it?
Yes.
Rob, we can't hear you there, bud.
Sorry, I was talking about laundry on the phone. Okay, so where were we? Because I was in the middle of the thing and I forgot. Oh yeah, so you call out and shit talk basically to the air because he's pretty much gone now. He just peered out the corner of
Who
his
are
sight.
you talking to, Dumbo?
What'd you say?
Who are you talking to? I'll just look around and see that nobody's over there.
I was like, the guy just walked out.
Who was that, Lazarus?
Yeah, Lazarus.
We have a common friend.
You have more friends than us?
That's
One,
unlikely.
apparently.
He's probably an acquaintance.
No,
This is associate.
we share a common friend. We are now associated, yes.
All right, so
Hey, Frank goes back.
Frank comes back. He's in his maw. He's slobbering over the pouch and has a hastily written note pinned to it.
Oh, I'll take the note.
I am dead.
No, just it says some things came up. Got to figure some stuff out. Here's the gold. Don't spend it all. Galphus.
I'll just look a little surprised. Well, he didn't steal it. I think maybe I'll hold on to this for a little bit, if that's okay with everyone.
I say,
Why? We have no reason not to trust you, Alex.
why don't we go half-half? Halvesies.
That actually makes sense. If we lose half, then we'll still have some to negotiate with. And I'll splitting the gold in half. And actually, I'll do this. Let's do this privately when we're not in the open.
Yeah.
You don't want to separate your giant bag.
You don't want to go. Yeah, you don't want to go divvy up gold.
Wait a sec. I know this is a really bad idea. So let's do this inside later.
All right.
Okay.
I'll hold on for now, and then just remind me later because I will forget.
Well, I mean, elephants never forget.
Oh my!
Oh my gosh.
I said we could just step into the inn in our room that we still paid for.
Yeah.
And get it done with now.
All right, let's just do that. So I'll just head to the room with Dumbo and just split the gold in half.
Okay, so you guys are your party's room. Is everybody else following them into the inn, or what are you guys doing?
Yeah, might as well.
I think Emperor would stay outside for just a little bit, kind of hoping to maybe see Galthus just walking by, and then I think after a couple hours, he would just come back inside to go to the room.
All
Yeah,
right.
once everyone. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So is Lazarus, you're staying outside, or no? That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just hang outside with him.
All right. You guys just hanging out outside. Alrighty.
You're getting better with that sword, lad.
Thank you. I'm definitely trying to get better.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah. Last I didn't do so well.
No, but you're learning still, and you seem to want this, correct?
Yes.
I'm happy to see that you're not running from this.
I'm trying to become less of a coward.
I don't think that you're.
Cutting out at the end there a little bit.
Yeah, you cut out. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying, it's like, I never thought, yeah, I don't think that you're cowardly. I think you are just learning.
Yeah, that's definitely the appearance that I was trying to go for.
We're learning too.
Yeah, we're learning together, right?
That's fine.
Right. You got everybody here. Alrighty. So what are you guys doing?
Once everyone's kind of gathered up, I would like to talk to the group.
All right, so a couple hours pass. You don't really see you really don't see Galthus come back. It's now just past noon, getting into early evening. And you heading inside, Yennefer and Lazarus?
Yeah, after it becomes obvious, I don't think he's coming in. We'll just.
All right. So
He knows where we are, so we'll just head inside.
Alright, so you guys are now inside your room, inside the inn.
Hey guys, I think we should talk about what our plan is. Hopefully Galfus is okay, but I mean, we have this money, and we're trying to make a deal. I don't think we've really made any progress on that so far.
Yeah, good point. We did come here for a reason.
So what do you think about that shifty merchant out there? I don't really know if I trust him.
He may not be able to necessarily be trusted, but I think he has a good bit of resources at his disposal.
Which one are you talking about, Nyafin?
I think the one we talked to, that guy.
Yeah, Nyathan Kalko and Aralda Fennec.
I was so tempted.
You made the name so easy to remember.
I know, try.
I was so tempted to just go to him and be like, "What does the fox say?"
Well, you could say it to him, but she's the she's the fox lady.
Or she.
So the goal is to.
Yes, we've only really talked to 2 people so far, and one of them was attacking Laz.
So we should reach out to other people then. That makes sense. Maybe we should start with the innkeep. He might know some people around here who are known traders.
Perhaps the trading post. I think that was mentioned.
Makes sense. Let's you said trading post? Let's check that out. That seems like a good lead.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
Should we split up or?
It's up to you. I think we should stick together.
Yeah,
with all this gold, I think it's better to stay
have more to protect it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the trading post, let's head to that and ask where it is.
Okay.
Okay. I'm cool for that. I'm cool for that.
What was the total gold that Kalphas had?
I think it was 3,000.
I thought it was like significantly, like
Maybe
a
more.
significant amount, wasn't it?
I don't think we were given a number.
We weren't given a number
I
because none of us sat down to count either.
So I guess it would have counted when I was splitting it in half then.
Yeah.
I was just kind of asking if I needed to, so I could put her down,
Yeah, that's fair.
or what, like, so I don't forget.
It's roughly 500 gold, so you should probably have about 250 gold each.
Yeah.
Definitely enough to feed a small army.
It's true.
Do we want to go tonight, or do we wait for the morning?
Well, you guys said you're at the outpost. This is the trading outpost.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah,
So I guess we just probably just ask around, maybe the innkeep or some locals to see who are like some well-known traders around.
So why don't we just go down into the this, where we want to call this place, the inn?
Yeah.
And let's just split up in that room. We're all together still, but we can each be talking to someone different and see what we come up with.
All right.
Sounds good.
If you need it, and you're talking to someone and you want to know what they're thinking, I might help with.
That's a good idea. Let's wait and see who seems the most important, and then we'll use it on that person.
Just let me know.
What did he have?
I'll tap my
Me.
forehead if we'll give it the forehead tap if we want you to do it.
Is this a spell you have?
It is something that I can do. Yes.
I completely missed it because your mic went out.
Oh,
Oh.
yes, that's something I can do. Yeah.
Yes. What can you do?
You hear inside your head many things.
Reading minds.
Gotcha. Noted.
We're always with you now.
All right. No, if I like that very much, but we'll go with it.
I'll just give an odd smile. Shall we go negotiate?
You know, you're scary sometimes, Yenfer.
Yes.
What?
Yes, indeed.
Very.
That's a.
I
good
never
thing.
thought of myself like that.
I feel like you've been to prison at least once.
We started in prison, yes.
There you go. You got him, Dumbo. But I mean, who hasn't been in prison at least once, right?
Me? I have not been in prison. Well, if you count that one time. But
You don't remember much. Maybe.
I think we were all slaves together.
Well, the more you do it, the more you get used to it.
All righty.
It's a break into slavery.
Something I definitely don't want to get used to.
So you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Are you going out into the common area in order to?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I'll just follow Karis kind of non-scriptly.
All right.
Trying to not look off-putting.
All right. So
I feel like we should do, when we're walking out. I kind of mentioned I feel like we should do 2 and 2, like groups of 2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That way we have someone backing up the other person. Just I think it would help.
Okay, I'll go with Yenfer.
Me and you, Dumbo.
That Lazarus.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. All right, so I will be going with Lazarus. And I guess we'd all stroll out.
Looking like the right stuff coming down the stairwell. Dramatic music changes.
A little bit of a waltz theme.
all right.
Just strolling down the stairs.
All right. So you guys come down. come down the stairs and into the common room. It's picking up more at the end of the day. You hear a bunch of different people talking. It's just a cacophony of noise as the small room, well, fairly small room as far as inns go, is filled now, and you hear the din of musical instruments playing over the top of the ruckus in a more jovial, upbeat um, melody. And
I think you can play better than that, Carly.
you see Fitz
Oh,
and
probably.
you see Fitz and Fowler darting around from table to table with mugs and plates.
Well, where do we start?
Well, we're not. Our tokens aren't in the room yet.
Oh well, who's all going out?
Here we're
All
trapped.
us, I think.
All of us. We're just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to groups of 2.
Oh, is that a giant tongue? It looks like a piece of Wagyu beef.
Oh no,
Wagyu
that's
beef.
it's a he looks like a tall lizard man with a small head who has a crimsonish orange color to his scales. He seems to be in talks with uh, a peculiarly feline featured woman behind a veil, and they seem to be discussing something.
I will whisper to Lazarus and say, I think we should go. I think you should hit this centaur. Or whatever it is.
It's Chimerian.
Looks like a centaur.
Can I look at the centaur? Does anything about? Oh, sorry. Does Chimeran? Does anything about this Chimeran like scream wealth or possible merchant?
He looks to be in all leathers and furs.
Yep.
It's like kind of like kind of looks like a trapper. What you would know the men of the mountains to look like.
So he would at least know trade posts.
Yeah. I'll approach him then.
I will follow kind of next to him.
A little closer.
Not on the table though.
All right. He arches an eyebrow and canters around to meet you and turns about to look you in the eye.
I'll introduce myself and I'll kind of step to the side to let Dumbo introduce himself.
I am Luthen. This is Vaka. We are the Canyon.
This is the what?
Well, let's see. Probably. Dumbo would know that Canyon is a tribe of the Chimeri.
Oh,
Yep. Would know that.
I see. Would either of you happen to know much about trading or where I could acquire some supplies?
What is it you need? He asks.
Rations, food for a lot of people, like a small colony.
You need, is it food you're needing, or is it... We deal primarily in cured meats and furs.
Cured meats could work.
Such is the bounty of the mountains, he says in a slightly peculiar accent. That is known to be that of a northern Chimerian.
So you say
Go ahead.
I'll say so you well, I kind of really say to Lazarus, I'm like, it's not just food we're looking for, right? We're also looking for like tools and equipment and stuff like that.
I thought we were specifically sent to get rations to last us through until we can get established, but
Well, he did say cured meats.
he did. And furs, which I'm sure we could use some not freezing to deaths.
Exactly. This sounds like the perfect guy.
How much would I remember? How much exactly? How like a span of time of like how much worth of rations did we really need?
Winter's typically around 3 months.
Yeah, so
Right. So
Um,
I'll tell him like, wait. So we would have a combined total of 500.
yes.
So I say,
Before you offer, I think you should ask how much he would charge.
exactly. I'm like, so, we're obviously needing some rations for about winter time, about 3 months, for like a little small colony we have. How much do you think that would cost? We have money.
It would depend upon the game that you're looking to obtain. You see, there are rabbit, and then there are the more expensive meats, like bovine.
Well, I would figure we would probably take majority of those kinds of meats, like rabbits and I don't know, weasels, rats. What else you have? And then maybe a smaller portion of the finer meats, like bovine.
He says. He discusses in a language that you guys, does anybody speak primordial?
I'm Mordial.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yep, it's in the thing. I speak it. Just kidding. I don't think I do.
Okay.
I do not.
Okay, so they speak it. You hear like a rasping, a deep rasping voice coming from his compatriot. They talk about it. Then he speaks up back again in common. How much do you need and when?
Well, so I would know this, but how roughly how big is the colony that we're beating? Like 200 people, 300 people?
Oh, well, it was about 200, 300 people. Then you added about 156 fairy?
Great. Thanks, Lazarus.
Hey, no sweat.
All right, so we're probably at like what?
We
350? Almost 500?
Yeah, you probably need rations for probably 4 to 500. Be safe.
All right, so I say we're looking to about 450 people.
That is a lot, he says. A smile almost takes his lips, and twitches in the corners. His eyes brighten up a little bit. And
Well, like
you do have the coin to back such an order, do you not? He says.
Wouldn't ask
I
if
see.
we didn't.
I nod to what Lazarus said.
You see, you'll find no finer cut of furs than that of the canyon. So, this meat will cost one thing, but let's discuss the price of the fur.
Oh, okay.
What matter of garments are you looking to obtain?
Just
Honestly, I think it would be best if we left it as fur. That way, we can fashion it into what we need as we go.
yeah, we have some we have some skilled hands that could do that for us, but we need to acquire a fur.
So you need the raw material. This will be cheaper,
Yes.
He says.
I said, and about the same amount of it.
For 500 heads? The cloth,
Ah.
fully clothed 500 heads. This is a lot of fur, he says.
I said, and good business for
Mm.
you. my
All
friend.
right. So with this, 200 for the food and 400 for the fur.
I said, so about 600.
600 gold. You'll find no better materials. Best you will find. This I swear my honor to, he says.
So I kind of look at Lazarus as giving the impression like we only have 500. Like, should we hack him a little bit, or like that's like the impression I'm giving on my face, like what we have.
I'll hit him with the good sir. Well,
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
So I will say if your goods are and your cuts of leather as fine as you say they are, then I can see you charging so much. However, this is my first time dealing with you, so maybe as a show of good faith, we could drop 100 gold off.
We would most likely be repeat customers as well.
Repeat customers. Do you have contract for this?
No,
I say no, but we can write one up.
It is no good. You are representatives, yes?
yes.
Indeed,
Yes.
it's custom here. You send representatives without the pledge of the president or highest representative of your faction. I cannot take a repeat business or do business in faith.
But weren't we told we were the representatives?
You do.
We have the sigil or the writ or whatever.
Yeah, Lazarus has it.
Yeah, I have his sign or whatever, his stamp.
Yeah, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so then we could.
Just wait a sec. I think he's distracted.
No, I'm not distracted.
I was, but we're good now.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
So I think Lazarus has the writ.
Yep.
I will pull out the writ.
All
See
right.
this?
Yes, he says. You are not very good at this, are you?
But I'm not bad at it.
You are the opposite of good, which is bad. Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's
But but there's something. But worse is worse than bad.
Are you sure you're in charge? And he says, arcing eyebrow at you.
Yes, sir.
I was like, and then I'm counting on like maybe I should have given it to me because I have a little more of an intimidation physical to me.
Well, okay, so back to the price you wanted to discuss. With the promissory return to business, what would you have us do?
Drop 100 gold off of the order and make it 500.
That
And
is-
maybe as business continues and we get more familiar with each other, maybe a slight promise of maybe an additional 50 gold drop later on if business continues.
You want me to short my price by 100 gold on the promise that you give us 50 gold later?
And return business, which is long-term future more than 50 gold. And more than 100 that you dropped.
As you say, he says, but I do not know you as well. And, as far as I can see, I've read this, I do not recognize this faction.
We are new and in need of help, that much I can assure you.
Then your reputation needs to be established first.
We gotta start somewhere, right?
Indeed. So, you pay my price, in good faith, then we will see about bringing the place down 50 gold. How is that sounding?
I say, why don't you just drop the fur count from 450 to 400?
Roll persuasion.
Ooh.
As good as I was hoping.
You never know. It could technically be barely enough.
I'm gonna say I could use some inspiration right now.
The prices on the fur are they are as they are because of I cannot move much farther down, and then I would risk I'd risk tarnishing the reputation of my brand. He says.
Well, no, I wasn't talking price. I was saying the quantity in which we would purchase.
Oh, if you'd wish to move. So, how many were you thinking?
Well, originally, so for the food's fine. You said the 200 for the food?
200 for food seems fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the fur, you said
500.
500, yeah. Sorry.
Well, it was 400, right?
No, it was
500.
500. So it was 600 total.
500 plus 2 is 7.
Oh, yeah.
So wasn't it-
The total was 600, yes.
Yeah, so it was 4 for the fur, 2 for the food. If I'm remembering correctly. Yes, so,
I
That means-
really hope you're having this conversation in front of him like this.
yes.
No!
Yeah.
So I say, so the food, 200. We need about 450 for about 450 people. 200 gold. The fur, instead of doing enough for 450 people, then we could do for like maybe we only need enough for enough raw materials for 400 or maybe like 350.
$350.
Yeah, 350 or 400. Basically, dropping the quantity so we can reach that.
So you're only dropping it by 50?
Or 100 if we do 350.
Okay, then for this I can do. If you drop to 100, I can do 300 gold.
Perfect. And then I just turn to Lazarus and I say, we can, people who need updated clothing and fur will have the first. Obviously, like the first dibs to the stuff we're getting.
I'll before we conclude, I'll try one last ditch persuasion effort, and I'll say 250 for the fur, and we will take it back ourselves.
Take it back ourselves?
I don't know. Most commonly, when people trade, they at least like supply some like people to guard the wagon because bandits
No.
and stuff.
That's
No?
extra.
Okay. All right.
That's-
All right, rewind. Never mind.
That sounds great.
Damn. Where is it?
I say, so we have come to a conclusion not about 500 gold pieces, 200 for food, 300 for fur. Do we have a deal?
It will take a couple of days to draw out the quantities that you require, but I am sure I can have them here within the end of the week.
I say, well then great. We can give you maybe half gold now and the rest when the job is done.
By end of job, you mean when I deliver the rest of goods, yes?
Yes.
Duh. We can do this.
I say, perfect, and I will fork over the 250 gold to him.
I will see to it right away. Give me a couple days, and I will have what you need.
Okay.
He gives you a curt nod and stands up, looks at his companion, and they set off to work. Alright, so you not knowing anything that happened just then, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Ah,
Well, I'm gonna offer somebody 250 gold. And
They gave away the other half of your
Yeah,
money
I
already.
know.
So
I'm gonna look
We
for
were-
the most-
We were here doing biz.
Sorry, for what?
you,
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Carl.
Okay, so I'm gonna look for the wealthiest looking person in this establishment.
you look around.
Okay.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I was gonna make a joke. I was like, "Oh look, how about that elephant right there? He seems probably."
Alright, so you look
Or
around
not,
the
give away 250 gold.
Yeah, right. You look around the establishment. You do see, Nyathan looks he has a well cut robe and he has a hall of many rings in gold. So he's a well to do merchant as well. And you look around, you do see the other two across from him, adjacently. They seem to be talking and fiercely about something, but they're in well cut finery as well, of velvet and cuff. And they have like cufflinks on. The woman has jewelry that adorns her necklace and her neck and wrists, as well as her fingers, as well as a headband that's jeweled as well. They look pretty well to do. This guy over here, he's pouring over the ledger. He looks pretty. Looks utilitarian. Everything's neat in its place. You see that he's got his quill lined up, his different filings and everything's all stacked out. There seems to be papers strewed across, but not messily so. They seem to be neat stacks that were carefully thought of, meticulously structured. Over here in the corner, it's kind of a disheveled mess. You see them; they're kind of like guffawing. And well, I guess I should indicate where that is. It's a looks like to be a couple of goblins and an orc, talking in a guttural raucous language, and you hear large booming laughter coming from their table as ale splashes over their tankards, and they seem to be having a good time. Over here is it looks to be a prim dragonborn who's reading over something. He has a musical instruments about him, and he seems to be reading over some sheets. And over here, you see a young human looking over at the. Looks like he's waiting on the bard. He has her with her musical instruments and seems to be handing her different implications of the trade, like whether it be like juggling balls or other things. So he looks to be kind of an apprentice of sorts. That's kind of layout of the room that you see right now. And obviously you have the innkeeper darting around, catering each table as needed.
Okay, I think
I will.
I'll approach this fella over here.
Karis,
Oh,
before you go, I want you to drink this. And I'll reach into my robes and I'll pull out this small little vial with this kind of like slightly purplish like mixture, a little gunky.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not drinking that.
But it will help you.
What is it?
It is mostly eagle talon root. It will help you. I've never done anything to harm any of you.
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't like gross things. What's it smell like? I'll smell it. Sorry.
I mean, it's strong. Has like a
What-
menthol ending to it.
Oh, what does it do?
It will make you more like you.
Okay, screw it, and I'll chug it. I trust you.
All right. So I'm just casting enhance ability. It's Eagle's Splendor, so you have advantage on all charisma checks.
Perfect, thank you.
Also, this guy looks like he could save you 15% or more on trade posts.
Perfect. So I'll approach him and kind of flamboyantly, looking very confident, or at least trying to, and I'll kind of come near him and I'll say, "Good sir, do you have a moment to speak?"
I suppose I do. One moment, please, he says. Yes, makes a quick gesture and reads over and glances over the paper he was currently working on. And, with expert precision, makes a couple adjustments and notes on his paper and sets the quill aside and dabs it on a small cloth next to his, inkwell and places the quill back in the neat row of other quills that he has in its place next to everything. Yes. How can I help you? He says.
Oh, I come as on behalf of the trade delegation, on behalf of a group of new settlers in the area, and we were hoping to supply provisions for the next few months. And I was hoping to see if you were a merchant of sorts who would help us be able to get provisions and supplies sorted.
Indeed, I am. I'm Kivin. I hail from the G'dan tribe, and I am an emissary of the trading that is done there.
This sounds perfect. I was hoping to see what prices are out there and see what kind of a reasonable negotiation we can.
So, does Cars know what we've done?
Not a clue.
No.
No, we have
Oh.
no clue that you'd. Yeah, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
The only reason I'm thinking it through is because obviously
idea.
that deal runs through
Yeah.
if
Yeah, gotta let it
no
run
idea.
out. All right, go ahead, Cars.
I think I finished. So I think, I finished saying, looking to see what prices are available and that type of thing.
Of course, I definitely have the ledgers here to tell you what prices run. May I inquire to what items you're looking to procure? This is...
It'd be mostly provisions such as food, shelter, those type of things. We wouldn't have shelters made, so we would need to find warm furs and blankets and that type of thing.
Indeed.
Yes, we would be traveling through the winter, I think.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, well, there is no shortage of people looking out to homestead to the rest of the Nelron, certainly these days, but it is late in the year to be finding some of these items. I'm afraid that some of these will cost. You said you needed building materials, correct?
I'm just gonna start tapping my head in thought, and I'll.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll take the hint and I'll cast Detect Thoughts. It's with no somatic components or anything. It's just a feature.
Okay.
And then I'll just read his surface thoughts for now. So that's no DC. I just understand what's on the top of his head.
There's on surface, there's a million different things going off the top of his head. He's thinking about it looks like the meme with like the equation meme, that lady. He's thinking of the price of transportation, the goods, the bottom line that he has to get, the overhead that he has with his different suppliers, and the amount of money that he needs in order for each item to be worth it for him to sell to you in the first place. And he's thinking of like the cost of procuring lumber, nails that you need for building temporary enclosures for the winter. He's thinking of you probably wanting a...
I don't understand any of it. It's horrible. I'll say the cars in his head.
I'll kind of just like give a little nod as I like tap my head.
Outwardly, he's prim and proper and everything's in its place, but his head is a mess.
So, what do you think a group of about a 400 group would cost to set up a village or of some sort? That might be exceeding our set delegation, but I just am curious.
Well, I mean, a large quantity of the gold would definitely go to manpower. If you're having that as a side, that definitely cuts a lot of it out. But materials, especially this time of year, if you consider that a lot of the lumber is out of season, and it'd be hard to move such big pieces of wood that you would need for such structures in the snow, it could definitely set forth delays. I'm assuming that you would need something along either canvassing or furs to make it through the winter at least. Correct?
Correct. And what would how much cheaper would it be if we waited until after the winter to start these?
If you waited till the thaw, at least after the thaw, you could probably see the everything drop significantly. But given that you're here now, I would deduce that you probably do not have that kind of time.
I think maybe the building supplies might have to wait until after we survive the winter.
Indeed,
Yes,
but
we
you
would
would
like
basements.
certainly, if you have the accommodations that you need to house the people that you currently have. If you don't, then I would strongly suggest you make accommodations for your party to have shelter from the elements.
That's a fair point. So what would that cost? A rough
Nah,
estimate, of course.
as I said, lumber would definitely be on the higher end. Metal, it should cost pretty cheap. I think we can get the nails for it for pretty cheap sum. How many pounds? Let's see. How many people are in your group? How many enclosures do you think you'll need?
I believe. Well, we have a group of about 400, but I'm sure we could build a larger enclosure that could house many.
Something to keep out the wind from at least one side.
You see, if you go for a more utilitarian model, which I think would be pragmatic given your guys' circumstances currently, to the north in Cultia, they have an intriguing concept where they build long huts and they light with fires these long halls that they have. They used to hold an entire village. If you were to build something similar to this, at least for the winter, we could probably reduce the price over building multiple dwelling units, multiple single units anyway.
Sounds very, very smart. And we would have the labor to build it ourselves, so that would not be part of the cost.
So, if you build these buildings after the Cultian fashion, and with these materials that you would need, I could probably get everything around 250 gold.
Oh, that sounds like a very. I kind of look at Yenfer, and then I kind of look back at Tim. I said, if possible, we are kind of on a tight budget due to obviously being displaced recently, but we're hoping to set up a permanent settlement in the area soon. So we would like to hopefully set up a permanent business dealing with you if we could potentially work out a lesser upfront deal, but a long-term contract.
Sure. And I suppose you have the required paperwork for
My associate over
such
there
custom.
does, but I can certainly bring it over here shortly.
Indeed. I don't suspect I would be familiar with your patron yet.
Likely not, no.
Indeed. Well, I'm certain we could try to work things out.
Let me.
Well,
Do you need the paperwork first?
Do I need the paper? I mean,
I need to speak to my associates first before I make any deals, of course, to make sure we are all in agreement.
that is pragmatic, he says. Agreed. You speak it over with your fellows, and I'll run over a couple more numbers, see what we can do.
It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Indeed, likewise, he says. He gives you a curt half nod as he looks over his ledgers again and begins working diligently in those.
Give him a bow and
As you turn over to Yennefer, you can see like little drabs of like sweat down his brow, and as you walk by, you just hear, I thought I had too many voices."
this is great, Yenfer. I think that worked out really well.
No, yes, it was hard to understand him, but he seemed to be very intrigued, and he was diligent in his work.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
stretch. I'm gonna head out. Yeah.
And the price is very reasonable. To not have to spend all of it would be wonderful.
Yeah, we got almost everything we need for half price. I think that's really wonderful. Well, that's lodgings. I don't think that included the rations. So let's talk to our friends and see what they managed.
Excellent.
At this point, I'm kind of like across the room, like with my trunk up in the air, like waving with my trunk and with my hand, like give their attention.
All right, I'll head over.
Ah, hello. Did you talk to anyone and get some quotes? We found
Yeah.
one in particular.
It's very
Oh,
promising.
so did we.
We
So-
for the low price of I think 200 or 250, we can get a building constructed that can house everyone. So if we were able to just get our supplies, I think we should be in perfect shape.
Was that for housing or was that for?
That was nails and lumber required for serviceable housing
A
before
long
winter.
house.
Yeah, it's
Well,
yeah,
we-
like a collapsible. Because we're
I'll basically
thinking
explain to them
one
kinda how
spot
it works. like a long house that can situate everybody.
Yeah, it's like a
And,
Viking longhouse.
yeah, yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
But I said, well, for the price of 500, we got food enough for
fur and
everybody, and fur to clothe basically everybody. I mean,
300.
yeah, 300. But my also assumption is that not everyone's going to need brand new fur. So though 300 would be to the first people that are in dire need of it, of a better quality one.
Sorry, so you negotiated for 500 gold?
Yeah. And
Yeah, we did, and we signed the contract, and I gave him half.
What? You idiot! How are we supposed to? What? First,
I'm
we
gonna
do
throw
nothing
the,
if we
I'm
have
gonna
rain or
throw the
snow on us.
sigil and the paperwork at him and panic. Like, you take it.
I'll take it angrily, and I just be like, "We need to figure this out because we need to have a building to put all this stuff in."
Well, I think we're
I failed you.
And why
I
did you talk
think-
to us before you spent the money?
Everybody,
well,
everybody roll. Everybody make a what is that should be called? Hold on, I'm blinking.
Insight check.
Insight. That's it. Yes, insight. I was like intuition. Insight.
20.
All right. So Karis and Yenfer, as it would occur to you guys,
Spot on, yeah.
how are you going to move all this stuff?
to like,
Well, I thought we could
Like to
strap
get-
something to an elephant.
Okay, let's go to our private
That
room
was
and
good.
have this discussion.
You have spent all your money on like a third of the goods you need. You still have no way to bring all this stuff home, and you don't have any horses or anything to move a wagon if you were to procure one.
wait, you're saying to get the goods to the people?
Right.
Well,
So you spent the
Well,
money
I
you don't have.
suppose you're going to have to find a way out of your contract.
Do we suppose we're kind of in a bind here, and there's no point crying over spilt milk, but maybe we, instead of gold, can offer some people
services?
services and favors. Maybe they need hired hands for something.
In exchange
True.
for a wagon or
Yes,
more gold because we need it.
because I think we need a building, but there's quite
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of money. I don't.
Well, I thought we were sent here just for food, like
No.
mainly rations.
I think it was
Mainly rations, yes,
Mainly
but
rations.
something to hold us over for the winter.
Also, not everybody eats meat. Do we have anything other than meat to serve?
Yes, I didn't think any of the fairies ate meat.
Well, I figured we could just cultivate it, and then I remembered, hey, look, it's winter.
It's
Okay,
odd that the fairy in the group made that deal.
okay, so we're screwed. We need to think of a plan.
And we were worried about Galfus.
Maybe Galfus found 250 gold in the wilderness.
Perhaps they joined his church.
And then you have the goods, and now you just have zero money to buy anything to get it back.
Well, let's see. Hold on. We can salvage this.
Let's go questing.
I honestly, that's the only option. I can't think of any other way we can. You've already signed away all our money.
Sorry.
And I think technically we're still owned, so we couldn't sell ourselves.
Hmm.
I've already done the slavery bit. It's not that great. I'd rather maybe
I think
try.
we all done the slavery bit.
Let's try. See
Um,
if somebody around town needs help.
let's see. Who would know this information? I'm leaning towards Karis.
I'm pretty far widely traveled.
So, Karis, you know of moneylenders.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's any in this town, but we'd always borrow money. But that seems.
It is a town of commerce.
I mean, we have the rich from the caravan, so we could. I'd hate to go back to them and say we spent more and signed out more money on their behalf.
But let's don't. Let's just.
Perhaps we would have to take the liability upon ourselves.
But we have no collateral.
We have swords.
We have nothing
no.
of value. I think maybe before we panic, let's see if there's anybody around town that needs some help with work. We can maybe raise some funds on our own. That help.
I mean, all it would take is one person having one problem that he needs to be fixed or help with, and we could get the rest of that money in one go.
You think people just have 250 gold to give to a random group?
Well, there's 4 of us with a problem and 250 gold. Maybe.
All I said takes the right person. This is a decent city. I think there would be some pretty people. I mean, I feel like there'd be some people well off that could afford that kind of money.
Well, I mean, they all could. They're all merchants representing the various tribes.
So there you go.
Maybe we should ask the innkeep if he's heard anybody looking for some hired hands. We have a couple days, I think, before this contract is before he gets all the supplies ready.
All right.
I say yes. So yeah, we're gonna go and ask the keeper.
Yeah. Well, while they're doing that, I'll do something else. I'm just going to take a pass around the room and just listen
There's-
to people's thoughts and see what they're, if anyone seems like they need help.
You see, there are a lot of people are talking about these newcomers that are coming in, throwing gold like it's made of, like they pluck it from the mountains themselves. You get some sidelong looks, especially from this corner over here. Miss Fennec eyes you coolly as well.
What's on Miss Fennec's mind?
You're trying to read her mind?
Yeah, just I can read surface thoughts for 10 minutes. I just have to use an action to direct it to someone else.
Lords are fools, all the same, she says. These fools will likely never see their return home.
Well, that's sad. Next.
Who are you reading now? Which one?
Trying to click on it.
This guy? This guy? This guy?
The fine gentleman with the hat.
Alright. He's so he's just he's not thinking over much. He's kind of carrying on the words of the song in his head that's coming over the din.
All right, I'll turn it to the bard. That's probably gonna be the end of my time.
Maybe cars could perform and get us some money.
Oh goodness. Are you guys needed of some male dancers?
Is it Magic Dumbo?
I can fly around the room.
Alright.
No,
Who's
but I go to the innkeeper, and I'm just like, hey, psst, buddy.
How can I help you? He says.
So we're a bit of a quandary here.
I seen
How
you
long-
made a deal with them boys over from Canada.
So yeah, you've been in this city for a while, right?
Yeah. I might have spell now, he says.
I said, good. Do you know of anyone that in this town that maybe looking for some special work? Maybe nobles that need bodyguarding, or of higher entity or something like that.
Well, it's been a point of pride of the Chimeran that we don't pay heed to the noble folk much like the other folks do. But if you're looking for work, I'm sure you could find a merchant arm on the caravan, but I thought you were all ready to a job needing doing.
Yeah, that's what we found too.
Well,
But I'm sure you would know just some individuals that would come to mind that need some special work done. If you get my drift.
I'm
A
not
little bit on the
really sure what you mean by special work. Now, do you mean guard and the lack of that? Privateering of a nature? I really quite say. But I will have you before we go any further. I run a reputable and respectful establishment, sir.
Yes.
And any ongoings that would lead to ne'er-do-wells to frequent this establishment, I will not have it here, no sir, he says.
I said I'm just looking for if you know any people that are willing that have high-paying jobs.
High-paying jobs. Now that would all depend upon your luck and I guess your ability to negotiate such an offer, but as far as I can tell, around here, if you ain't a merchant, you're a merchant god.
You said a merchant guard?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. You wouldn't happen to know of any people who some higher end
I'm sure everybody.
merchants that would need guards?
Well, given the fickle nature of the profession, I'm sure some of them find themselves short-staffed, especially this time of year. It's a time for hunkering down.
COVID's a bad thing, isn't it?
I suppose it is, if I'm not sure what you mean, sir, but
Say, okay, where could we find these people in any of this work?
well, I
Or
mean,
these jobs?
any one of the merchants, I'm sure, has a caravan heading out in at least a couple of days or sooner. Maybe you can find work among them.
I feel like in my head, I thought comes to mind that the fox over here, he was talking about good bit of gold opportunity.
You keep misgendering her, she's going to come at you with a knife.
I said the fox.
Does the
Easy.
fox say?
Ding ding ding.
Step.
All right.
So I remember she was talking about good bit of gold opportunity. These two people were, so I will walk by Lazarus and like kind of grab him to come with me.
All
We're gonna
right.
fix this.
All right. Before you guys, yeah, is Yennefer Cars doing anything?
I'm gonna let them clean their mess up.
All right. All right, we'll do this one more encounter, and then we'll see what happens next week. Okay, so you head over to where
By the way, now we're in debt. 500 gold.
Aralda and Nathan. Well, it looks like you did your business elsewhere, he says.
I said, how do you know that?
It's unfortunate we couldn't come to an agreement. Well, it's a small room where travels pass.
Is Lazarus behind me?
Speaking of past, it's unfortunate that we passed on your offer. However, would you happen to have a different sort of offer for work, perhaps?
Like, maybe a guardsman or something?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I think you're spreading yourself a bit thin. There's a lot of promises you got floating out there, he says.
Fuck, I hate this place. I love it, but
Promises that have yet to be. There's no rumor of those promises not being fulfilled.
Are you insinuating that you're not intending to keep the promises? He says, arching an eyebrow.
No, I said I want to make sure you're not insinuating that we're not going to keep our promises.
We'd never do such a thing, he says.
I
eyeing you
said,
coolly.
I remember earlier on the discussion when we first met that you guys were talking on a good bit of gold opportunity and that you guys were moving some vans.
Yeah, see, I was of a mind to stay here, maybe travel in the south a bit, where Geralda here wants us to head more out west.
Why west?
Well, that's where all the money's going, it seems. Everybody's trying to head and strike it rich in Barui these days.
Which
I
means
kind of
more competition.
Yes, but we're ahead. We're leagues ahead of the other competition. They still have to go through Adenia.
But there are people already there.
There are. But if we get in there now, you see, they have the small problem of the dwarving and elvish guilds to the south with the Hylian syndicate. Bad business there. And it stops a lot of the traffic coming in from the south. So we have an advantage still. Oh, look at me. You got me thinking her way.
So I look at her and I say, so we're talking about that gold opportunity.
She said, Ajikuli, I knew you'd see it my way eventually, Nyathan. Now, I know that your Denson often think you a fool, but these wretches, well, I don't know if they're untrustworthy or just stupid, she says.
Maybe the latter.
I don't know if that's any better, she says.
I say, we do have to say that we are in need of some work.
I suppose so. I can imagine with that poor display of bartering that you'd be ousted and unemployed and flat on your butts immediately when they come across and hear of your skill, she says, contemptuously.
I kind of just grit my teeth a little bit. As I say, so I'm going to ask again, we are looking for some work.
It appears you need the work more than I need it, she says pointedly. But if we are in accord to travel west, she eyes over Nyathan, it would be fortunate for you that we would need escort that way. And though as dumb as you appear, it appears that you do look somewhat capable in handling yourself in a fight at the very least, she says.
I said I very much am. And just for display, I kind of briefly display my echo.
Roll intimidation.
Just like to show that like I have ability. But
Well, you want to see if it has an effect. It's a scary, cool, intimidating.
so like what I do with it, like I spawn it, like I would spawn like right here or where, like just a little bit away, and then I would teleport to it, and just kind of like a little demonstration of ability.
An interesting and rare ability indeed, she says. All
And
right.
I say my group that I have with me has way more, or not way more, but has other utilities and skills that come along with it.
Okay then. Then what is it you negotiate? Then what is it that you require if you wanted to contract with us?
What do we want, like amount wise?
No, you fool. You obviously require a price, a specific one if I catch your quandary, she says. What is it?
Yes. And this I would like snap my fingers for Yennefer to come up. Not gonna make this mistake again. I like this. This is gonna be a group project now.
I'll come up as well.
Okay.
What is it?
It seems... Alright, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It seems that your companion has taken the liberty to offer another contract in your stead, she says, with a half smile and a smug half smile on her lips. You see, me and my partner here, Nathan, we were discussing heading west to Barui. And since it looks like we're leaning towards that idea, we find ourselves in need of efficient guard in order to make the trip. And he was offering your services for a fee that we were negotiating.
Is it possible instead of a fee, we could negotiate you bringing our supplies along with us to our caravan?
I suppose. Where's your caravan?
I'll explain it because I don't remember, but I'm sure my character does.
Okay. You explain that you're heading off towards the northern part of Evanelia, and it crosses and intersects. I suppose it doesn't put us too far out of our way to do that. But
Yeah,
do you plan on leaving us once you reach Evanelia? That simply won't do, he says.
I do kind of say like, well, we were.
we can obviously make an agreement to see how far we go with you before we would set out. We wouldn't just leave you without prior agreement.
Or till you get replacement.
So, you would fill until I find and deem it a suitable replacement that would see us all the way over to Barui? This could be arranged, but if I do not find a suitable replacement at your caravan, I would expect that we wouldn't find another replacement until we were already in Barui and established.
And sorry, how many countries over is Barui?
I'll pull it up so you guys can see.
Thanks.
I guess we're headed to Barui.
Well, we probably don't want to be around the caravan anyways after they see what we bring them.
Let's see. Right now, you guys are right here
Oh, I see.
in the border town of Rosovia. You were discussing, I think, last time you were heading up here into Evanelia. The caravan, when you left them, were around here.
Okay.
And they're going to Barui, which is, you have to go across Evanelia, across Anilania, into Barui.
I mean,
mean, our
Hmm.
original plan was to go to Barui anyway.
Your original plan was to go to Barui.
It's a nice thing about my life. I have no plan.
Well, we'll have to talk more, I think. We promised our caravan much, including becoming members of them.
Yeah, I think we'll need to speak with our entire group before we make a decision of this import, I think.
Well, I can't afford to wait much longer. You see, winter is already upon us, and it'd be treacherous to get through the passes if it were to become snowed in.
We
He
should be
says,
able to let you know within a day.
Good. I plan to spring in Barui and profit during the summer.
Well, thank you for the offer, and we'll get back to you shortly once we've talked to everybody.
It is on a limited time basis, this offer.
Understood?
Good, she says. I hope to hear from you by the end of tomorrow.
Let's give her a nod. And
Yep.
All right. So,
Well,
there you go. So, you guys have quite the situation going on right now. You have two different contracts to honor. Well, one you didn't engage in. You can
yeah, we didn't
take up
fully-
the better deal is obviously with Mr. Ribbons. You already have a initiated off contract with the Canyons. So
Well, when I'm well, what did he mention? Because you guys didn't figure out the cost with Mr. Ribbons with food, did you?
No, it was just for
No.
lodgings.
I mean, like the shit can still work out if we can somehow get a hold of some other people and talk to some stuff, right? Because you only wanted 200 for the food. You know, you might ask for.
Well, I think 500's gone. Like our 500's gone now. It's already been promised for food, for meat and furs.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we could go pleading. Hopefully, they change their minds, or we'll accept, that money that they already have.
Roll insight. Probably advantage with Karis.
Ooh.
20.
All right. You know that something like that, or even if you ask to go back on an offer, you can irreparably damage the reputation of the caravan and possibly doom it to failure.
Yeah, I'll let everybody. Like this that's not quite an option now. I think we're locked into this course, and then we just need to find the best way to navigate the rest of it.
I mean, you could try to go back on it, but inevitably people would quit trying to trade with you, and they'll quit doing trade with you, and they'll eventually starve to death and die.
Yeah, I think this is our mess to clean up, so we need to figure out the best way to make it up to the caravan. But I think first, the most important thing is getting those furs and supplies to the caravan at least, so we have something to show for it.
yeah, one thing about that, we won't get the furs or the meat
So when?
until we give them another 250 gold.
Right.
And
We kind of did a down payment, right?
well, they said they were trying to get it to you by the end of the week, and she wants your answer by tomorrow's too. So you gotta work that out as well.
We have.
That's a
Will
real
you
tickler. Can you say oopsie?
Huh?
I said, can you say oopsie?
Yeah. Oopsies.
Oopsies.
It's all right.
Like, were we when you said discuss with whole group? Do you mean like just us, or with the caravan, like that group?
Well, if Galphus is returning,
Yeah, I mean, if we're changing the entire direction of where we're going,
Oh,
Galphus
we
should
are.
probably have a say.
yeah, if we are going to go to Birui as part of this deal, we need to confirm with Galphus if he returns within the next day or two.
All right. So we'll leave it there, and I think that's a good place to end for this week. There's a lot to think about, a lot to do.
You guys are welcome for a action story change direction. I was happy to
What's your
apply.
alignment again?
I should say definitely Dumbo is definitely chaotic neutral, and then I'd say maybe Lazarus is true neutral or chaotic neutral as well.
Maybe you'll find out.
Maybe we'll find out.
Maybe we won't.
I mean, that could have gone worse in theory.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, she could have just stolen our gold and walked out with it.
Number two, don't give the demon ideas. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But in that case, we would just hunt them down.
Any questions or concerns before we leave it as is for the week?
No, I think that's pretty
I
clear. I
think
think when
that's
you think
it,
about it.
All right, quite the interesting problem we have. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Sorry about the audio issue earlier. That's why if you're watching the other video with no audio, I clipped it, and now we just continued on with that. So I do apologize. The first part of the session was not did not have any audio, but we're working with now Windows 11, and hopefully going forward we will no longer have that issue. And I will try to make clips of the other session of this session as well and get them out there so everything will be more easily digested. I apologize for that. I'll get that out there, and I want to thank all you guys for showing up and playing tonight. It was a fantastic session. It was really interesting, and now we have kind of a trope-esque sitcom situation going on in D&D, which is always fantastic to work out. And we will pick up next week.